recording. Hello everybody on YouTube, and welcome back to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 15, Week 5. Today, we got the Doctor of Dota, Randy.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm
diagnosing
OBS.
And we got our special mystery guest, who is Ksed.
Hello, I'm here to flame.
Yep. Taking a look at Alch Capone, Outlaw Destroyers. Probably two of the biggest stories in this entire league. Alch Capone just turned the entire team on its head. Outlaw Destroyers coming off of one of the biggest victories that they've got so far in this season. And of course, I said all this before, and the reason we're saying this in the middle of a pick phase is because OBS crashed.
So is Razor still super busted, or has it disappeared off a little bit? It's been solved.
I think it's counterable now.
The big thing that I've seen in terms of discussion for it is that it's pretty much back to the point of being pretty much a very good counter pick, but not quite as good as just like a raw right into the enemy team's face type pick. Like, you can't do Razor first. Even doing it here is a little much, probably.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a 3 Razor, and I think they're gonna respond to it with the Clinks, in my opinion.
It could. Could also respond to it with a little VS action, which is pretty bad for Razor.
Dire team pick.
Shadow
Fiend.
Is that SF?
Could be. SFMF, that's very easy to say.
It could be a carry SF. I think SF matches up in lane pretty well against the Razor. You can't sustain against the Razors.
5 seconds remaining.
Apologies to those of you who are currently watching us on Twitch. Having a little bit of frame drop issues.
You were sounding like a robot for the first 3 minutes after you went live. I think your bandwidth.
Radiant team.
It's Ksed, dude. This Ksed guy, he just keeps killing my internet.
It's a decent faceless game if you get the right targets in Chrono, but
I think it's really hard actually, because Faceless Void hates silences. If you don't have BKB up, you're just gonna get chain silence. There's Smoke Cloud, there's DP, and the lane's not even great for Faceless. And they already have a swap save, so it's actually a really hard Faceless game.
Swap is bad, and like Smoke Cloud or Sleep Dart can also cause issues.
Also,
if you chrono
really,
everybody, you can kill the SF. So.
Also, really doesn't have that great of chemistry with his lineup so far. They really don't have anything they can throw into the Chronosphere for any sort of assist, really. The best they got is sometimes Razor might be able to link a guy in the Chronosphere, and that's it.
Well, they did ban Chrono damage, so they banned the Iceman Invoker, Iceman Zeus. And then Dire looks like they think it's a carry SF because they're banning mid-heroes right now.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and they banned the MF Batrider that owned last week.
Yep. Knocking out OD. Appear to be stabilizing a little bit Twitch side, so that's the good news.
5 seconds remaining.
Never mind, I shouldn't have said that. Stabilization cancelled. It's just goddamn wind. Every time the wind picks up, it seems there's got to be another goddamn fault with my line.
Is the MF playing? Let's see.
I wouldn't mind mid SF right now. Mid SF and you go like Wraith King here.
You could. You would be threatening to do no favors to the like 20% win rate that Wraith King has in this league, but
Dire team pick.
I mean,
This
it's
is a
getting
good hero for
expensive.
Kai. Oh, Kunkka.
Kunkka, alright. Yep. Heroes tends to be useless in LDCL, but what can you do? We'll see.
Wasn't London popping off last season on Kunkka?
yeah, London is like the
10
only.
seconds
It's
remaining.
like we saw London do well with it, and we saw God Like Matt do
5
good with it
seconds
back in
remaining.
season 12, and so far that's been the only real impressive showings from Kunkkas in this league, unfortunately.
Okay, so Iceman Ember, classic.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the key of this game is like the safe lane for Alch Capone. They need to punish his.
Gonna cut off here as we're currently
Razor
loading some
really-
assets.
Flips once Razor gets items against the SF. Whose draft do you guys like better?
I don't know. I think I think ultimately I have as many nice and negative things to say about both of these
Okay.
lineups.
I don't like Kunkka, but the rest of the Alch Capone lineup is fine. And then, like, OD lineup looks super hard to execute. So, like, if they don't. You need, like, perfect chronos in every fight, or, like, you're just gonna get picked off. Your Ember's gonna die to the Lake of Sleep Dart or something. Ember Void will get silenced by DP. People get swapped out. It's pretty difficult.
Very BKB dependent as well.
Yeah, it's also a really bad Ember game. It gets bad into deep. Oh wait. I think this this Ember just might have no impact. Yeah, I think I like the Radiant lineup more.
Don't adjust your set, by the way. That little audio deal there was not your side, folks. Your headphones are fine. That was just the sound of me loading into this game and then getting disconnected immediately. Awesome.
Nice, nice. Technical issues.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a live stream without at least a little bit of technical issue.
Yeah, so this mid lane matchup, it's a really skill-dependent matchup. It's pretty even. I think the way Embers need to play this is you have to basically max your shield. And you can out-damage Kunkka if you trade with them, but if you just let Kunkka keep cleaving you, you're almost guaranteed to lose the
30
lane.
seconds to battle.
We have seen Iceman perform well in this specific matchup before. We've seen the Ember versus Kunkka matchup with the Iceman Ember. And he did pretty well for himself. So there is
Is that in the current year?
Yeah, that was like 2 games ago. So,
Oh, okay.
so there is that. You know, it still probably isn't a heavily. I would be very hesitant to say at all that it favors Iceman, but at the very least, he's had some experience in this specific encounter.
Maybe it won't get deleted from the game, yeah.
Maybe, and unfortunately.
Yeah, I really would like to see Kai get a Ring of Basti in this lane, because the whole hero concept on laning against Razor, you just spam Razor at him.
You have to go to open mic again here real quick to solve that little issue. So, 1 week we're going to get, we're going to do this where I don't have to do that. But either way, we have Meph is already taking quite a bit of damage here at the level 1 encounter. Meph has already taken most of his
Got
HP.
every group in the first wave, pretty good.
I think Iceman's gonna really regret getting that point in Q.
Perhaps. But
Like,
so,
it was good for there, but long term, having level 3 Q as soon as possible is like, sorry, level 3 W is literally like the strongest part of Ember's laning phase.
do wonder if there is a little bit of thought of, you know, oh, Meph isn't going to land his stuff. I can get some potential for kills this way. To say the least, I do have a little bit of insight into the planning strategy of the Outlaw Destroyers here, and they were not really, as I saw it, taking Meph particularly seriously as a threat.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
So far, the Outlaw is leading for last hits in general. Kid Dynamite 9, Iceman 8. Rather early in the laning phase, but
The only issue is Vex is having problems in this lane.
do kind of wonder how long that's going to be, especially when they get first blood off of it.
Yeah, bad timing there. But
Oh, Meph might be dead here. Yeah, he's... no, he's gonna live barely.
Whew, 20 HP there. Meph just barely walking out of that lane.
You gotta get that rune without his bottle, though. He's not happy about that.
It's true, but he would be a lot less happy if he died, I think. Some support trading going on at top. Treon Protector beating the crap out of poor Vengeful Spear right now. For those of you who are watching at home and wondering if things will look better on the YouTube version of this cast, the answer is, of course, yes! So, you have that ahead of you. This right now is a purely upload speed related issue. We did just get a kill out on Vex there. Roxy Roro getting a bit of revenge.
Double kill.
Oh, nice
Going
mango.
down.
Never refuse gold given.
Value mango right there.
And Kai tips Vex. It's just like what happened last season, basically. Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be a bit hard to carry this momentum forward much longer on the Shadow Fiend.
It's got 2 mangoes coming.
He does have the mangoes, but I do think as this lane gets some more levels here with the Razor and the Rubik, it's gonna get a bit harder for Shadow Fiend to be able to just stand close to the wave much at all, I think.
Yeah, I think the way on SF you have to play is you just have to like double raise the Razor once. Mid lane, hold up.
Top lane as well, watching
Oh! Hello? Iceman?
okay. He did disconnect. Iceman gonna get a bit of a tip for his trouble here from everybody
We're
involved.
trying to tilt Iceman, huh?
Oh
Alright,
my
alright.
god, he is good at tilt.
Shoutouts to Iceman. I believe he tends to watch the cast of his own games, and I miss that kill a lot. Another kill on Roxy. And unfortunately for Razor, he was not able to get the link on Shadow Fiend that he might have wanted here.
I just man's up there.
Yeah, if I had another mango, he kind of pussied out there.
Oof. Things are not going well for the Razor Rubik matchup down here at Blood. I think maybe perhaps maybe the strategy isn't going to their favor here. I think maybe the idea here is more just try to constantly, you know, for now anyway, for the first few levels, just stay out of trouble, more or less. Stay out of the range of heat with the Shadow Fiend and just constantly plug him with Fate
Iceman's gonna
bolts.
die here. Iceman's dead, by the way.
Iceman.
A rotation here by Ricky going up to mid.
Oh my god! He got himself killed!
Yeah, he actually
Turned her around there, huh? Interesting.
he actually would have gotten away with that, I think.
Dire's middle
Really
tower is
sure.
under attack.
I guess it's because Roxy showed and he thought something was going to happen there, but I don't know if he really had it all
Dire's middle
ready to go
tower
there.
is under attack.
Things started out quite strongly for the Outlaws here, but lane phase is, you know, as it's going on, not really going in their favor. Feels like everywhere you're looking, something's going at least a little wrong for these guys.
Well, no, the top lane is going very well. It's actually going way better than I would expect for the Void here.
That's true. You do have that. So there, you know, there is that. But even then, it's not like the way this top lane is going. I don't think is going to. It's like Void isn't winning enough for how bad this game is going to be for him to like get more mid-game impact to come off of this with the momentum. Like, you know, with how badly the bot lane and the mid lane are collapsing for them, you kind of needed Void to do like really goddamn good. You kind of needed Void to be like, you know, first place by a ways at this point, and DP to be doing kind of nothing. And neither of those things are true. They're closer to the truth than the opposite, but still not exactly where you want to be.
I mean, the nice part for the Die right now is that the Radiants, they're all like low CS, like on SF. SF only has 22 CS despite getting all boost kills.
That is the good news. And the net worth chart is, for the most part, following the CS chart right now. They do have that going on. Here, kinda standing alone from his support doesn't really matter much. Does seem to me like there's not really going to credibly be an opportunity for a kill on the DP unless you get a really good in lane, unless you get a really good chrono, basically. And I don't know if these two can do it even in that case. Like, it would have to be DP's on the edge of it, where she's like, where Treant will be in right-click range, maybe. That would have to be it, I think. And that's a very tough one to land.
I'd really like to see Kai get raindrops if he plans on staying down here for a long time, because there's just too much spam. 2 arcane boots.
Yeah, but he just got one hula hoop from Razor there, just sheared off about a quarter of his health. Which, with what he had already lost. Okay, the 1/2 second Razor Link.
The Fade bolts are really annoying too.
Yeah, I think one of probably the biggest reason that while Shadow Fiend has been doing good for KDA, but he's not been doing so great for the last hits, is just the Fade Bolt as a pause one. It really sucks to have to deal with that. You have the Link too. The Link's going to be inconsistent, but the Fade Bolts, especially with the 2 arc boots, really aren't.
Yeah, I think the Radiant kind of messed up their game plan. They needed to kill the Razor as much as possible before. Okay, wait, this Rubik might go down here. Let's see.
Yep, just got interrupted in the middle of a pool. Roxy looking very low.
Oh no, Kai's about to die.
Got a good, oh man. Got a good, reaction
The
here.
jukes? Oh no! He missed!
Yep. No, he didn't miss, he just got Fade bolted.
Oh no, he missed his raise. He didn't he casted
okay.
a close one there.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I think Razor's still gonna die though. Oh, the Link. Nah, he's fine.
Oh man!
Poor Richard. He does get vomited on to death by the Vengeful Spirit.
Here comes the Iceman.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Ember Spirit gets himself a kill, gets himself a courier, gets himself back on the board here, really. Is now starting to equalize on the last hits and denies and just got that little bonus, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Here's how you know if someone's a DP player. They'll stand right next to the tower, because it actually increases the damage from your ghosts.
Rainbow DPs here.
Huge rotation.
Yep. Rainbow coming out. We have a ooh, Mickle just
Nice.
barely gets out. Oh, Kunkka got X. Oh no, he's gonna get X'd out of the.
What a genius!
Not the Exum though, it's grief. It's
That
not
wasn't
Grief.
his X.
That was really bad for Radiant, because the tree can now just heal the tower back to full HP, and they basically wasted Exo for nothing.
Yep. The good news is that they did just buy quite a bit of space for the Shadow Fiend, who is, in fact, going to demolish this T1 bot.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And down it goes.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Violating Sacred Altitude Alteration. This is not a great place for Iceman to be.
Dire's bottom
Likely fine.
Chillin',
Yeah.
he's got a regen rune.
Vex is in and he's mad, but all he can do is send out his hula hoop in protest. You know, with all the technical difficulties, we didn't do a roll call this game. I have to do that in round 2, I guess.
Wait, Iceman's dead.
There it is.
Yep, I'm gonna go down there to the coalition of Kunkka and the Ricky there, which is finding really tough to deal with.
That was a really heads-up play by Meth. He let Iceman use his slight, and then the second he did, he X'd him.
Bohohoro is going to take a full top, though Mickle is going to take this opportunity to hit second EXO. Rubik tries to steal it, but only gets some funny bats.
They're sucking each other!
Oh no, I got the funny Spirit Siphon, never mind. The mutual suck, it's a little awkward, it's a little awkward.
Mickle is probably gonna die here. Holy shit, he's...
Everybody is coming to town for this, and Mickle's been cleaved in twain by the Ember Spirit. Once again, you know, one nice thing for Iceman's game is that it feels like every time something that's pretty bad happens to him, he does find a place to turn it around here. You know, he gets clocked by the Kunkka Ricky combo. What does he do? He goes back, he gets his heat back on the Death Prophet at top, and is now looking at, this is like a pretty good place for him to be, I think. As long as they had the vision here. Seems they don't.
Oh my god, they don't have detection.
They do. They have a sentry there. They just didn't feel confident charging under the T1 there when the swap came out.
Oh no, I mean like it took him like 5 seconds to place it. And he had a dust as well, so. I'm not a huge fan of Meth's build this game because they already have 2 silences on the team, and he's just begging for more dispels to happen. I'd really like to see him actually just go for the meta Kunkka build right now, which is you go double bracer, blade mail into shard, and then BKB.
Shoutouts to the litany of emergency vehicles that are now passing by outside.
Visiting Iceman.
Yeah, there we go. Whoever dies next, we can take him to us.
The tree's not using his living armor on any towers. It's quite concerning, actually.
Boss, hit that button, bro.
No, boss, this is why you picked this 0. Come on.
Like, if you look at the game state right now, this is really good for the Radiant, because they're farming their entire jungle, both jungles, and no one's farming the triangle for the Dire.
You have, yeah, Dire's just trying to make sort of this awkward push attempt up at top, which is a little unlikely to go anywhere. Okay, solo ult on the DP. DP just ults in response. Mechanism wins, but Rubik got the ghosts!
Oh,
Here
no.
comes Void! This is a
Chrono's
pretty
here.
big chrono! DP just
Nice one.
getting smashed to bits. Only one EXO remains.
Radiant's
They
bottom
saw the
tower
Ricky
is
there,
under
but they're
attack.
not going to get much done to him by the time he's out.
Small slow.
Vex is trying to make life hard for Kunkka. Oof.
Is that
No miracle for, oh,
Oh no, can I TP
Gotta
then?
go.
here?
but it doesn't actually get anything.
Radiant's
And he's out of mana.
attack.
Okay, this is a big Greesh TP.
Rubik has the Shadow Fiend ult!
The double Requiem, very nice.
Oh my god! Rubik got in that last team fight. Rubik got the Shadow
Actually
Fiend ult.
getting all the ults.
He got the exorcism. Boss is
God,
active.
FY. FY
Oh dear.
Rubik.
Yeah, this is a mistake I see a lot in LE2L. Like if I just mentioned that they should be really happy, but they wanted to also get a tier 1 on top of farming way more than the enemy. Oh, Kid Dynamite might be dead here actually.
Kid Dynamite
Oh,
definitely gone. Whoop.
Dude, he didn't hit him!
He swapped back into the mess. He's having a real problem getting around the Treant's living armor though, and Kai gets to walk away, or not Kai, Kid Dynamite gets to walk away for his trouble. Faceless Boy gets out of there.
Meth tried to getting a little too fancy there. He wanted to go for the cleave. All he needed was one right click with Tidebringer there. And it was like a guaranteed kill.
Kai and Iceman have a bit of a fight mid, which Iceman ends with a remnant.
Nothing more to do there. Take a look at the net worth chart here. Took me a minute to bring that one up this time, but take a look at the net worth chart here. We got Faceless Void leading, Kunkka following, the Ember Spirit and the Shadow Fiend trading for 3rd place. Pretty consistently. Everybody else feels like they're looking a lot lower right now. Razor's gonna push out to T1 bot here. Not go any farther than this, but
So they have a Chronos 3 and 10 that I am betting they'll probably want to fight with. We'll see.
Chrono is old, and Kid Dynamite is relatively close to his team. He does likely want to get this ancient camp before he does anything, but
Radiant's bottom tower
that's a little sad. I believe that's the first steal of the sleep dart so far this game, which was mentioned in the pick phase. Rubik's got himself this nice sleep dart for a couple of minutes here. Can definitely help in the case they want to go for a big chrono. Would not be a bad thing to support it. Just use Sleeping Dart to knock out somebody who could have potentially intervened in stopping it from the outside. Dyer's walking up to Meph. Well, Boss is walking up to Meph, rather.
He messed up the combo there a bit. I think Meth might be dead here.
Got the trio, but things a little awkwardly positioned here. Meph is just getting toasted. Ember Spirit and the there we go. Kid Dynamite asked God for a bash, God delivered.
I think Meth thinks his hero is like way stronger than it is right now.
I think Meph just likes to go deep into enemy territory when he thinks his team is winning. They did do a good job in making sure that the Treant ult didn't go anywhere farther than it had to, but that is really nothing more than a compensation prize for losing Meph.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Vex is going deep. This looks pretty bad.
Vex is going dead. You have Chronosphere on the Death Prophet.
Does not matter, apparently.
Yep, the smoke cloud made it longer than it had to be, but they still did get Mickle, and Meph Troll TP'd himself in here.
Okay.
One good Troll TP deserves another, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so Kunkka is actually not very tanky if you get to go on him. He doesn't have like crazy high armor or anything. And he man fights really poorly, so you usually don't want to be standing up like that.
He is getting himself BKB next, but it's quite a ways away.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Greaves is out on the Death Prophet now, which does have the potential to change things, especially with that.
Nice sleep dart kill.
Just tragic casualty of the Ward Wars here at the mouth of the jungle for Radiant. Ember Spirit has a DD bottled. And have Chrono up by the time that thing's going to blow up in his inventory, but...
I hope everyone on the Radiant side buys Lotus Orbs, because it's so amazing this game. It's good against 5 heroes on the Dire lineup.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well, so far it looks like there are a grand total of 0, even looking at it, so... Your wish may not come true. But we still have time left in this game. I'm sure
Ooh, I
DP
do
at
not
the
like
very
this.
least.
Mickle is buying Shard next, and he's already like poor as hell for this point in the game. Don't think that item actually does enough for him.
Well, it does have one big benefit, which is if he gets chronoed when the Spirit Siphon is actively going, which so far has happened basically every time he personally has gotten chronoed at the very least, that makes him really insidiously difficult to kill. That is
Yeah,
pretty
but
much the only benefit for it.
Faceless Void's gonna get his BKB in 300 gold, and they're gonna probably take a fight with that, and it's gonna do nothing. You want to like be able to survive through Chrono at this point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, tankiness.
Yeah, I would say right now the only thing they really credibly have to get people to live through the chrono is dissuasion. You know, if Death Prophet gets chronoed, I think the only thing that's going to make Void turn around is if the Death Prophet ult is like actively going at the moment, basically. You just got Razor with the Sleeping Dart, gonna drop everything in the world on him.
Rubik stole boat.
Vex just goes down in mere moments. Tree gets cut down to pieces by the Shadow Fiend, who is doing some pretty good work with that right click. Poke comes in, smashes Poke.
Roxy has stolen 3 of the 5 ults so far in this game. Guess he can't steal Ricky's, so...
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to
World.
steal permanent. Or sorry, Cloak and Dagger. Can't wait for the Rubik swap, that's gonna be fun.
I'm not like entirely sure how Kai just like walked in and got like was able to hit everyone like that with no mobility items.
Very simple. The Dire were committing pretty hard in a fight, and the main way they have to stop him from just doing things died pretty much immediately. Everybody else on that team is either slow or exclusively using their abilities to get around, which they were using in that fight to try and kill people. Looking at Kai here. Smoke going out on him, though the Spidey senses did tingle a little here.
He's fine. There's... Oh, Benj is on the other side of the map? I think he's still fine though. Benj is thinking of...
And,
oh
no. The Shadow Fiend is actually going to go down before any response really comes out. Big Grease on DP is making this fight a mess for the enemy lineup, but they are going to get her down eventually. Here comes a boat. Hits no one. That was a Rubik boat.
Yeah. They're all just gonna kind of die here.
Rolled right over.
I think Venge fell asleep at the wheel there because he took way too long to TP, and if he TP'd a bit earlier and got the swap up, I think that fight probably could have turned the other way.
Potentially.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Dire take their T1 top and now seem to be looking at Roche. Or maybe not, never mind. Cancel that Roche. DD bot, I don't think anyone's gonna see it in time though.
I hope Vex hits some creeps because he is like giga poor right now.
Speaking of people who are currently living in the poverty line, DP has finished the shard and is now looking at a Shiva's Guard, which I think is really, really optimistic for how this team is going for his game so far. I really just don't see that Shiva's coming out before this team gets demolished. I think Mickle needs to go for a smaller item before this.
Yeah, I think the right item here is buying a Sage and just going singing Kaya. Oh, perfect scan.
Yep, Dire gets straight out of the neighborhood in response to a 4-man smoke coming in, thanks to a well-timed scan.
I bet Iceman pressed that scan.
Who knows? If anybody has player perspective running on the active replay right now, you can figure that out for yourself. Exo coming out on this tower. It's going to make it pretty tough to actually defend. No Dire.
Living armor, Treant, living armor. There we go.
Okay, Chrono's up in 4, so they'll probably want to be out of here pretty quickly.
And here is exactly where they're out.
I feel like the Dire could have held that, like if they just spammed out spells, but they seemed really scared. Like they had 3 heroes just sitting at the tier 3s there.
Vex is alone in the enemy jungle right now, as pretty much everybody on their team is walking into it. Though he is avoiding everybody's line of sight just barely.
He's got the nice ward there. This team looks like they're joining him.
Yep, they are going to try and close around here.
Yeah,
Found Ricky.
Maybe? Nope. Don't want to call the supports. Fair enough.
VS gets linked for a half a second. Dust out on Ricky. Smoke cloud down. We've got a boat to turn it around. And so the Dire just walks away casually. Start walking away casually. We're at the boat for support. I mean, probably. It's just a minute cooldown, so it's not a bad idea from Meth there. Just immediately make the other team run for the hills.
Dire's bottom tower is under
It does feel like we're seeing a hint of hesitation from the Dire lineup in the way they're playing this game. It does feel like, in general, they're seeing themselves as weaker than the enemy lineup, having to play very carefully when, in actuality, they're about as strong right now.
Yeah, Vex just needs to farm right now. Same with Mickle. They're both so poor that they're gonna basically not scale into the rest of the game. I just see them walking around, standing around. Anytime I look at their heroes.
T3 items coming out, including a very interesting quickening charm just popped up for the Dire, which Razor immediately snatches up. It's a very good item for him to find at this point. Ember Spirit's going to take a Nappa. Nothing much worse comes out of it. Very awkward encounter here, as nobody on the Dire seems very willing to actually engage, except for Vex, who is now going to
Super split fight. This favors the Dire, I think. Chrono on Kai.
Yep, one-man Chrono, but the swap gets the Shadow Fiend out of there. Rubik takes the swap. They're gonna get Tohohoro and Revenge, but that's all they get. It's not really going to be worth what they lost to do this, especially if Vex is just gonna take a spill. Yep. Very awkward encounter there.
Yeah, it makes the Faceless Voids game a lot harder that he can't just Chrono SF and win the fight.
Yep. I think, look at this fight recap here. Most of that money went right into Shadow Fiend's pockets, which is probably the last person that Dire wanted to see that cash go into. It's also gold toll for Vex, ends up only losing in that fight, which is just not what you want when you're already pretty down. Mickle at least picks up some cash from the backside of that. Which means that maybe his Shiva's Guard dream could come true after all. I mean, the good news is, if he does get that Shiva's Guard, it's going to be very tough for the enemy team to operate outside of when the BKBs are up. It's like you got 6 seconds to win a fight, basically, and if you don't, the Faceless Void might as well just fall off the face of the world.
Vex is buying Heaven's Albert right now, which could be an issue for Kai a little bit. We'll see.
Honestly, I feel like
Radiant's
strategy in fights. Mickle tries to TP there and does not make it. Radiant's strategy in fights does enable them, I think, to prolong in those sorts of cases, I think it should be okay.
Is that all?
It would be worse for Faceless Void to get disarmed than for the Shadow Fiend, I think. Still not what you want, but I don't think it's going to be a disastrous pickup.
Oh my, look at what the Ricky has queued up after his Lotus Orb. He's going Wind Waker.
Wow. I can't wait to see that pop out at 75 minutes. Wind Waker could definitely be very helpful in this game if Ricky can amass the Yep. If Ricky can amass the fortune required for it.
The Radiant also have a really powerful play that they're probably not aware about, which is you swap into SF ult. So Ben just stands next to SF in the trees, and then SF starts ulting, and then you just swap the enemy hero into it. And it's like basically an insta kill.
That is true. They do have that ability to pick. I think at the moment, Radiant is probably thinking in terms of, okay, but if we do that, we don't have the swap for the Chronosphere, though. It'd be tough to get
on the business Void.
It's gotta be tough to get Void with that, I think. Because, you know, he has that BKB.
Katie's going straight for the MKB next.
So you have to time it absolutely perfectly. MKB, very nice there, means that he no longer has to specifically BKB for the Ricky Smoke Cloud, though he has queued up a Lincoln Sphere. Not that either. He's queued up an Eye of Scotty ahead of that. There we go. Attempt number 3.
Big smoke. Vex is going to run to Kai first.
Let's get him. Does not personally have detection for this though. And now you're just gonna die instantly for his troubles. So it's true what they say. Invisibility is invincibility. If Chronosphere and the Vengeful Spirit is in the ult, so Kai is just gonna die. Death Prophet is melting. Kunkka. Okay, good swap here, but unfortunately still going to be kind of tough to actually get rid of the, or get him out of here.
Nice storm.
He did disconnect there. Radiant protests, but they just can't get the Kunkka here. The Admiral is going to get away for this. Swing and a miss on the smoke here. Oh no, they actually did get him, just barely at the edge of that. Wow, that was so close to the edge of the dust of appearance there that Ricky was physically outside of the actual graphic there.
Yeah, these fights basically just come down to whether or not the bench can swap the SF out.
Is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Once again, for those of you who are watching at home who are seeing these unfortunate frame drops right now, just want you to know that these will not be present on the YouTube version of this broadcast. And if the wind dies down, hey, they'll stop being present on this one too. Faceless Void has cleared his item queue up here. He did decide to go for the MKB for the Scotty after all. And as now... Oh no, he's being very indecisive with what he wants. The only thing he knows is he wants his shard and he wants the Aegis. Dropping a boat into the Roche pit here. Good Dynamite actually has to use BKB to not die.
Very interesting, he wasted his ult.
Requiem.
Requiem doesn't hit any of the cores. Except for, I believe it hit Vex, but that's it.
Iceman's out of remnants, he could be in trouble here.
F. Oh.
Iceman has gone to bed. And will now die for his trouble.
You fight the enemy team when they get the Aegis, and you win the fight. Interesting. Don't see that every day.
Yeah, I think the Chrono was like slightly...
Well, the Chrono didn't have it at all. Chrono is off cooldown right now. But yeah, there was some execution. I don't really think the Dire had any thought that the Radiant was going to do that. I think that was a situation where if the Dire was playing with the assumption of, you know, Murphy's Law here, right? If Dire was playing with the assumption that the Radiant are going to just come out at the first possible opportunity at the worst possible time, they probably win that fight. But I think they really just genuinely didn't expect it, and once that comes out, you know, you have a few kind of missed buttons at unfortunate times. You have a few whiffs here, and as a result, you know, things just not going great. By the way, shout-outs to those of you who have joined us in chat today. Apologies for not being able to pay that much attention to chat at the moment, but I do see Dogtown and Katie in our chat today, so shout-outs to them. Also see an EXO that came very late into this push, I believe, thinking that the Dire might be attempting to counterattack there. And the Shiva's is actually up now. So wow, the Mickle got his item after all. Really displays a great turnaround here for the Radiant that they were ever even thinking about getting that in the end, but Shiva's out on the Death Prophet, who is slowly climbing up that net worth chart now. Vex is also slowly coming up, but it is really painful for him. This game's kind of pulling teeth for poor Razor here. We just got a Satanic drop on the, dropped onto the Shadow Fiend here. He's now got his Satanic Silver Edge all lined up, all ready to go. And as we saw from the last fight, invisibility is invincibility, so...
Yeah, Kai needs to make sure he presses BKB if he gets Chronos Food, because like most of the Faceless Void's damage actually comes from the MKB procs and the Molnir procs.
The Shadow Fiend has now queued up a Hurricane Pike. Behind that, a Hex.
Yeah, the Hex seems bad. I think if you like a much better option here is just going Arcane Blink.
Yeah, probably. Even if you don't want to try and play off of the ults, which, you know, maybe he doesn't. He woke up on the wrong side of the bed to do that today. Even if he doesn't, at the very least, a Blink Dagger, just a naked Blink would be a pretty solid option for him here. You know, one thing that we're seeing very consistently coming out of the Dire lineup is they have some trouble when it comes to right-clicking into people or right-clicking away. Just walking in or out of the fight. And having a Blink Dagger there just exacerbates the problem for them. Just gives them one more person that they have to worry about how to keep consistently locked down.
I think this game, if you have an Arcane Blink on Shadow Fiend, you can literally just Sleep Dart Arcane Blink ult, and the Faceless Void's gonna die basically every single time.
Well, not this time, because he has Aegis.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna die once, technically, but...
There you go.
They're gonna fight under this Radiant Ward here, which could be pretty good for...
They do have the Treant Greaves, so I do think that might be able to at least get Void the power play necessarily to just get back, hit that Q, get back in the fight. That could be an absolute disaster if you get the full-fledged Shadow Fiend ult onto Faceless Void. He has like 10 HP left, Tree hits Greaves, he hits Q, full HP again. That would be pretty bad.
There's 30 seconds left on Aegis, and I think the Radiant knows that.
Yep. Kunkka is willing to take the fight here, but nobody else really is. We got a smoke count out, 4-man. Actually going to be walking towards the Void here. 15 seconds remain on Aegis. But looking increasingly unlikely that they are actually able to do something. So going to miss on the X there, though, the Ricky Dart. It is true. One-man Chronosphere on the Shadow Fiend. He's actually going to die before anybody gets there. The Vengeful Spirit only just now arrived. Well, the kill was good. Unfortunately, Aegis has expired on the Faceless Void.
Okay, they're running in.
VS is going down. Death Prophet going down. Only Ricky and Kunkka survive. Most have died very low here, but...
Kai definitely lives there if he has BKB on. That's unlucky.
Well, also lives. I think there is one thing that Pohohoro definitely needs to be more conscious about in these fights. It is staying Like, you know, in fairness, from where Pohahara was standing when that Chronosphere started, there was not really a great way for her to get there. I do think in fight she should definitely be a bit more conscious about positioning herself for the saves from the Chrono. Like if she just swaps him instantly, then nothing happens in that fight, and Dyer probably just gets routed out for it. Glyph on the T3s is likely going to put an end to this push. Only 15 seconds before the rest of the Radiant lineup comes out, so they're just going to take a powder, go back, and fix some waves.
I think Kai was slightly like over-eager there to fight. Like he needs to stay more with his team. He was just out alone and saw the face of Void 101. Immediate smoke.
Three-man smoke. Coming out 3 on Underclub here. Rubik is just going to tank it.
Eviscerate Roxy, yeah.
Unfortunately, that was not actually the smoke, but fortunately, Treant Protector is in a good position to break it here. One of the, I think, lesser talked about or thought about upsides to the Treant Protector in LD2L is that he is very, very good at just unintentional. The Gleep near on one creep. He's very good at just breaking.
Oh no, Treant!
Fortunately, he's not good at living. Chrono here on 3. Shadow Fiend dead again. Kunkka, in a pretty bad way, trying to drop the boat. Boat actually is successful here. Torrent Storm is actually going to get him out. Nobody has BKBs to get through this. And Kunkka just gets a haste. Once again,
over-eager there. They're like, no guys, no Chrono. They try to take a tier 3.
turns out, yes, Chrono. And speaking of yes, Chrono, Faceless Void just picked himself up a refresher. Which in this game, I think it's probably going to be more or less equally important for that ult and for that BKB. He is going to have to go on a clarity diet to actually be able to maintain it, but you know how that goes. I don't know what Kunkka is doing here at like 20% HP, but you know. Gonna annoy Vex a little bit.
Middle tower has fallen.
Iceman's gonna take another nap. As Ricky just trying to make this push up as annoying as possible in this downtime. 55 seconds to Roche spawn. Likely Dyer get a pretty free swing at the next Roche. It's a little hard to see Radiant being able to take it and being able to maintain any sort of equilibrium on the side lanes.
Never refuse gold.
Mickle really dislikes small items. Like, look at his inventory at 44 minutes. He's like, Magic Wand, Windlace, spam Greaves, spam Shiva, spam Tex.
Yeah, looking at the Hex, gonna have a second Hex on the team if Shadow Fiend goes through with his idea here. He is not. He's looking at Aeon Disc. He's tired of getting chronoed. Which, I mean, on one hand, Aeon Disc is probably not... Okay, Boss just clipped himself. Well...
I think they're gonna see him, actually. They're gonna check this cliff in a second.
This sucks.
Boss easy.
Oh, the entire rating team is there
Oh! That's funny.
Okay, Bots easy making plays.
Ultimate play. Torrent
Ricky
Storm
Baba.
is gonna go out. It's gonna keep the rest of the cores at bay, but it's not gonna put
It's
any...
Chrono to get swap.
Yep. Swap does come out this time. They're gonna eat the the oh no. He hit refresher and he ran out of mana.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, this is why usually when you go refresher, you need a Scotty.
He does have the Scotty queued up now, so there is that. Oh, something else that fight could have gone worse. They did eliminate a couple of enemy ults, most notably the Exo, and they did force a buyback out of Ricky. And they did completely secure this Roche bit. Not really any realistic way that Radiant makes another go here. Surely not without any EXO up. Aeon Disc is now finished on the Shadow Fiend. They can no longer just drop the Chrono on him and eliminate him.
So Kunkka does have enough money for Hex. I think this item will make Faceless Void's game a lot harder. Because you can actually... He only has 2100 HP right now, which is like really little at 46 minutes.
Unfortunately, for all intents and purposes, he just doubled that amount.
Alright, look at... So Kai just bought his Aeon Disc. Look at Faceless Void's quick buy.
Nullifier, very nice.
And look at Shadow Fiend's quick buy.
Ooh, Divine Rapier sighting. Oh
Yep.
boy.
I still think this is like a very incorrect approach.
It's too early for the Rapier, I think. This game is not like... this game is not to the point, I think, yet, where that's something to think about. And especially that can just be really nullified with the Heaven's Halberd. Like losing 2 or 3 seconds of right-click time in a fight with the old Halberd there really sucks. Mutual pushes going on in both side lanes. Kunkka at top, Razor at bot.
Iceman's like super farmed right now, holy cow. He's almost got his refresher orb.
Yep, he is top net worth in the server. Him and Faceless Void are up at the top here.
Mickle has still not filled out his inventory slots. He fills out one inventory slot every 10 minutes.
Oh no, they got Ricky. They swapped the Ricky out there, so it is unlikely he's going to get away. Or as unlikely he's going to fail to get away, rather. I like Kai coming out of... Kai doing his out of invis big auto attack on the creep there. Very unfortunate timing for Dire as a Radiant creep wave spawns right in front of that T3 and stops any damage, any chip damage from taking place there. We got that smoke. I don't know if they know that Kai has that Aeon Disc yet, so that could definitely be interesting. I don't know why Radiant think that Dire might be in the Roche pit right now. That's an interesting scan. I can tell you for a fact that nobody is doing Roche at the moment.
I think they definitely know, because otherwise that's the only reason the Faceless Void would buy a nullifier. There's nothing else to nullify on the team.
It's likely, or at least he queued that up in anticipation of Aeon Discs coming out. You know, it's a very easy guess that if you're a Faceless Void in a game that's going kind of long, people are going to start building Aeon Discs. Doesn't necessarily mean you've actually seen it yet.
You know, Kadynamite's hunting right now.
A lot of folks hunting. Ooh, gets hexed right in front of all the enemy cores.
Kai's not here, so I'm not sure he wants to drop a chrono anyway.
Yep. Well, he does have 2 of the things. He does have a refresher here. He doesn't have enough mana to actually use it, but he does have the refresher here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And indeed, Kai is just going top there. Kid Dynamite is going to try and just cut him off from behind. But there's another wave coming for the Shadow Fiend, so it's a little unlikely anything of value happens. That's an interesting set of maneuvers from Kunkka. Both teams very unwilling to give each other even an inch. None of them want to make anything that looks like a mistake right now.
Kai is actually insane for doing this right now, by the way. If Rubik just TPs, and then Faceless Void follows up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, if Rubik TPs and Faceless Void follows up, Aeon Disc pops and he gets out. One-man Trial just hits the Ricky. They are going to annihilate him, though. Vex has come in at a very awkward spot for the Dire, or for the Radiant in this fight. Iceman just lost his courier with a refresher orb on it. That is really annoying.
Fire cutting waves.
Okay, no, it didn't have his refresher on it. It just had his refresher recipe on it, but it's still pretty annoying. Ader's just expired.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gunka getting very ambitious here.
Is under attack.
Oh my god.
Tree, use your use your
Requiem. Shit, Dynamite's dead.
oof. Godlike to the Shadow Fiend. Everybody on Dire just dies now.
That is not how you wanted uphill to go.
Nope. They didn't even get a T3 for it. They got nothing done for that.
Kai
Very
has enough money
awkward.
for Rapier, by the way. I'm not sure he buys it necessarily, but
Dire's
Very
bottom
awkward push there, especially in the light of the fact that they were only, of all their big ults, they were only able to use trees. No Razor ult, no Chronosphere.
buyback.
Yeah, he doesn't have buyback either, so it's... Oh no, they're gonna lose like 2 X's here.
Especially if Razor misses the hula hoop. They're gonna buy for it.
Everyone bought back except KD. It's a 4v5 in earnest.
Rubik got himself some bats. They just popped the Aeon disc. A very awkward time for him, actually.
has fallen. Dire's top
Yeah.
tower
Likely, at least in some part as a result of that Aeon disc part, they are having to back. They get a T3 for their troubles, which is really more than anybody could ask for on the Radiant at this point. That's definitely a good objective for them. They get the T3 mid. Treant can't keep that thing topped up anymore, and they force a load of buybacks, so...
Oh, Rapier coming? Nope, walks past.
We
Gets
saw how
trouble.
fast the Void died in that fight, right? He like died to like 5 hits from the SF after he got ulted.
Yeah, he couldn't even press his buttons, he just died.
I really think he needs to sell his Mask of Menace and get like a Scotty, you know?
The thing I was trying to yell at Tree about during that fight, but I just couldn't think of the name of it, was the Holy Locket. Boss had a
Smoke?
Dire are
20
scanning.
charge really like it. Not that that does that much, but would have definitely been nice to see it come out that fight. I think if you have a full Holy Locket, then Treant can just use it on Void right after he refreshes and give him just enough to get a second Chrono out.
Hold up, Kai might be in trouble here? No, he TP's top. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, Faceless Void!
Spidey senses come out there for him. Oh no, I hope the recording doesn't randomly die here.